Council in session. Please stand for the Worshipful, the Mayor of the Borough Dacorum, Councillor William Allen.
The first item on the agenda is to elect a mayor and to the appointment of a successor at the annual meeting of the council in 2025. Before I ask for nominations, may I say a few words about my own year in office. I'm going to start at the end. On Sunday, we saw Burgermeister Jean Hagelstein, the mayor of our twin town, Neu-Isenburg, off on his flight back to Germany, having hosted him in Dacorum for the previous 4 days. Having Mayor Hagelstein visit Dacorum was both powerful and endorsing. Powerful because it was a great opportunity to share ideas with somebody also in public service, but in a different context. But endorsing because it provided an opportunity to share the best of Dacorum with him and to showcase what a fantastic area we live in. I want to pay a special thanks to all of the colleagues who helped host him while he was with us, particularly Councillor Alex Binder, the chair of the Twinning Association. Mayor Hagelstein was particularly struck by the beauty of our countryside. He was very impressed with the services for young people available at the XC Centre. He enjoyed having his moment of glory on Radio Dacorum. He enjoyed seeing excellent world-class facilities at the ski centre. He saw how excellently our residents are served by community centres, by visiting Grove Hill Community Centre. Thank you, Councillor Banks, for hosting that. And then he experienced the fantastic talent that we enjoy in the borough, firstly at Tring Park School for Performing Arts, but also he attended the Mayor's Garden Party and various musical events that were fundraisers under the so-called Mayor's Jamboree. The Mayor's Garden Party was a fantastic celebration of our area in lieu of a civic dinner. And I want to thank Danny and Susie and Claudia in the communications team for putting on such a fabulous display, and also Sunnyside Rural Trust for hosting it at the Hemel Food Garden. The event was graced with a range of different entertainments. We had the Dacorum Indian Society, the Majorettes, and a number of our very principal charities were present, including DENS, Boxmoor Trust, Community Action Dacorum, Sunnyside themselves. Hosting Mayor Hagelstein over those 4 days, it's like holding up a mirror. You get to see the area you live in through somebody else's eyes. He was really struck by the wealth of community dynamism there is in Dacorum. And that very much reflects my experience in the past year as mayor. People ask me, what are my highlights? It is an incredible privilege to be able to spend a year going around all of the various organisations and endeavours there are within our boundaries, and to share the experience of residents with those organisations. And there are too many to mention to have highlights. So I'll just sketch over a few. We have fantastic organisations supporting all areas of our residents' lives. My last speech, I mentioned cricket, so I'll start with cricket. So we have wonderful sporting organisations, and it was a great pleasure to open the new nets at Chipperfield Cricket Club. We have fantastic cultural organisations, such as Decorum Community Choir, who provided a number of rousing and very, very enjoyable concerts. And Hemel Symphony Orchestra. If you didn't know we had a symphony orchestra, you should. They are up and coming and fantastic. There's a wealth of things for young people in the borough. I've had a wide number of visits with Scouts coming into the borough and going out to Scouts groups. And the St. George's Parade in Little Gadsden was a fabulous expression of their community spirit. We have multicultural groups. iCane Foundation ran a wonderful Windrush celebration in the walled garden in Gatebridge Park. We support our elderly well. Had a wonderful visit to Mountbatten Care Home, and some of the Mountbatten residents came into the forum as part of a challenge. And what was most lovely about that, I invited them for tea in the Mayor's Parlour, and they had a tour of the forum, and these were former employees of the borough, and they knew some current employees, and there was some really fantastic interactions between some of these retired former employees and our current employees. We have some great businesses. Going to the launch of Atlas Copco's new headquarters on Maylands was amazing what they do up there. It was also particularly pleasing to present the Ambassador of Sweden with a Hemel Hempstead Town Football Club scarf. We have wonderful educational facilities. It was a great pleasure to open the Jubilee building at Adeyfield School. And then we have environmental groups. Grand Union Community Energy, who are an aspiring new initiative in our midst, working with residents to both reduce their own energy use and to set up initiatives which will enable residents to access renewable energy more readily. Disability, Sunnyside Rural Trust, of course, is a wonderful example of a social enterprise that raises money to support those in need. And then there's anti-poverty initiatives. I had a visit to South Hill Centre, where they have a multidisciplinary health hub, including the borough's own housing department, who do fantastic linked up working to support people in our community. And not least spiritual, Open Door Cafe in Berkhamsted, providing lots of wonderful opportunities for residents to engage with a range of different activities and feel connected within their community. All of these activities we are so lucky to have in this borough. And it is a measure of us as a community that we have some of these, and that many are, award-winning. Many are as good as any authority could hope for. And it's for this reason that in this term, and my colleagues, my successors are willing, I'm glad to carry on the approach, is to move away from a winner-takes-all approach to mayoral fundraising so that many community initiatives can benefit from the profile raising and fundraising that the Mayor's Office can spearhead. In my year, the fundraising activities that I undertook were principally focused on 3 large events. We had the Breaking Boundaries event, where I walked the boundary of the borough, not exactly on the line, but near enough. 105 kilometres, 20 charities were involved, about 50 people accompanied me, including the High Sheriff of Hertfordshire. And I had contact with 16 different communities within the boundary of the borough. And we had fundraising activities on each of the evenings when I stopped. The musical jamboree, which came to a conclusion on Sunday, was an opportunity to celebrate musical places and musical people within the borough. And we do have a lot of very talented people in the borough. We had everything from ukulele groups to the symphony orchestra, Hemel band, and a lot of school choirs. It's very uplifting and very rewarding to enjoy that spiritual interaction, that cultural interaction with the musical people within our borough. And then finally, the Mayor's Garden Party. And the funny thing is about all of these events is a number of people came up to me and said, "Oh, you know what? The mayor used to have a garden party. How good is it that it's come back? And there used to be a mayor's walk around the borough boundary. Great that it's happening again." Just goes to prove there's nothing new in this life. But what that does go to show is that there is an appetite within our community for mayor's fundraising to be more visible and to be out there and involve people like these events did. So this fund, the intention is that it will provide immediate response to small projects, hopefully with a disproportionate impact and with an intent on trying to make the future of residents' lives improved. The year has raised, it's hard to tell because I'm still trying to work out some final numbers, but the year has raised over £16,000. And my intention is that a third of that money will be distributed to the number of charities who have been very involved in supporting this year's fundraising, so that that can showcase the sort of things that a Mayor's Fund can achieve or support. This third will be supporting causes such as Apsley Food Bank and their much needed improved security arrangements. Wish Tree in Flamstead, who struggle to get elderly people to hospital appointments, being a rurally based community. Boxmoor Trust, helping special needs children engage with their educational programs and get out into the open air and experience conservation firsthand. Swan Youth Project, keeping young people, often the most vulnerable, off the streets after school. HACRO, the Hertfordshire Association of Crime Reduction Organisations, who run a project up in Bovingdon, a sports project that helps ex-offenders have a focus that keeps them from straying back to past habits. Boxmoor Playhouse, wonderful venue for the community that needs to do some adaptations to improve disability movement around their lounge. These and many others will showcase what the Mayor's Fund can support, so that the remaining 2/3 can be handed on to my successor, so that Brenda has an offer that organisations can apply for. And it is the hope that this will become a rolling programme running from year to year. So Mayor Hagelstein's visit highlighted the fabulous array of organisations we benefit from in this borough. Those organisations and the Mayor's fundraising have been supported enormously by many people in this room, and I thank you from my heart for all that you have done. I'd like to pay particular note to Robin Bromman, who came on every day of the walk, who attended pretty much every Jamboree musical event, and it's almost getting to the point where people are thinking he's my stunt double. And whilst we have all of this wonderful support and facility within our community, we are by no means a perfect community, and there is still need, and there are still people out there who need the borough, the councillors, the voluntary sector's support to be able to get through difficult times. And that is where we come in. The last thing Mayor Hagelstein said to me on his departure, he'd spent several evenings with Liberal Democrat colleagues, he'd spent time with Tory colleagues. And the last thing he said to me was, everybody he met was committed to working for residents, and that there was very little that separated us on the two sides of this chamber. So, in conclusion, I would just like to say thank you for you and your service to our residents, and let's look forward to another year of service as a political community and also in support of Brenda Link. Thank you. So may I have nominations for Mayor, please?
I nominate Councillor Brenda Link. And if I may say a few words?
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's not every day that I get the honour of proposing my mum as Mayor of Dacorum, so here I am. Happy Wednesday. Today is a day filled with pride, not just for our family and friends attending this evening, but also the administration who have historically supported my mum as a volunteer alongside my late father, Tony Link. The continued support my mum has received as an elected borough councillor has been faultless, so thank you. My mum has remained a councillor in Highfield for almost 17 years and has always surrounded herself with a good network.
Sorry, Councillor Link, point of correction, 19 years.
Sorry. Maths never was my strong point. My son's resitting his tomorrow. It's genetic. There we go. Apologies, Mum. So let me do that again. My mum has remained a councillor in Highfield for almost 19 years and has always surrounded herself with a good network of supportive party members. They have guided her consistently. I'd like to take a moment, if I may, to remember the late Jeff Lawrence, who worked tirelessly alongside campaign managers such as Lloyd Harris into the wee hours of the night in past elections. These people and all the volunteers have been so valuable, and without them we wouldn't be in administration today. So thank you very much. I always wondered, as the youngest child of Brenda, what exactly my role in the family would be, and it has become clear that I was in fact born to ferry my mum around in the car to deputy future mayoral duties and kinds of stuff in the absence of Richard Kiff. Don't worry, Richard, I'm not after your job. You're absolutely amazing at what you do, and your advice is second to none. In all seriousness, I'm so proud and so inspired by my mum that I chose to run as a borough councillor and got elected in Apsley and Corner Hall. And my family would be, you're all so proud as well, aren't you? You're all nodding. And it would have been lovely if my dad and our dad could have been here today to share in this, my mum's success. This year, my mum has promised me some sandwiches and the chance to get driven around to some lovely events as one of her consorts. My eldest sister, Julie, has kindly agreed to be my mum's second consort. My other sister, Jackie, informed me that she has suddenly become allergic to buffets and is conveniently unavailable for the next 12 months. And my older brother, Darren, didn't want the interior of his car compromised by excessive cake crumbs and graciously declined consort. It is with hand on heart that I propose my mum, Brenda Link, as Mayor of Dacorum. She has all the qualities of a good mayor. She is kind, caring, driven, and loves nothing more than to speak with the residents of the borough. I know that my mum will make the next 12 months amazing. Finally, I'd like to say a huge and heartfelt thank you to Ron Tyndall. Ron has been my mum's right-hand kind of man, guiding her through, listening to all her phone calls and questions, and he's been absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much, Ron. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder?
I would like to second the nomination for Councillor Brenda Link. Thank you.
Thank you. So Councillor Brenda Link has been proposed and seconded. Are there any other nominations, please? There are no other nominations. Is it agreed that Brenda Link be Mayor?
Agree.
I declare that Councillor Brenda Link has been elected to the office of Mayor. And before I surrender this chair, I have made a grievous omission. There have been a number of people who have been instrumental in supporting me in the last year. Richard Kiff, we've had Jenny and Cassie, and people up here on the rostrum providing constant advice. Thank you for that. But there is somebody, my long-suffering, fantastic wife, who has been beside me on every step of this journey, and without whom I would have achieved very little this year. Thank you.
I, Councillor Brenda Link, having been elected to the office of Mayor for the Borough of Dacorum, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties it entails according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of the members of the Borough of Dacorum. Thank you. Thank you. That's me now. Yeah. Oh, yes. I would now like to present this badge to the retiring Mayor as a token of the Council's regard. Right. I would like to say, first of all, thank you to everyone, my family, friends, and members, officers, councillors, everyone that's helped me, for helping me be and giving me the honour of being the Mayor of Dacorum. And I do hope that you will join me and for many fundraising events. I'm not going to make this long, it's very short. I would also like to wish my grandson, Michael, who's 17 tomorrow, and he's got an exam, so I would like to say happy birthday, Michael. Thank you. Right. I now formally propose that the Council tender to Councillor William Allen their most cordial thanks for the admirable manner in which he has discharged the duties of the office of the Mayor of the Borough of Dacorum during the past year, and place on record their appreciation of the energy and sound judgment which distinguished his actions during that period. That the seal of the Council be affixed to a copy of this resolution, and that it may be presented to him in recognition of his services as the Mayor of the Borough of Dacorum. May I have a seconder for this motion, please?
I would like to second that. And if I may, can I say a few words as well?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So tonight, as we bid farewell to Mayor William Allen tenure, I would like to have a moment to express my deepest gratitude for his exceptional and tireless dedication throughout this past civic year. His transformative approach has not only reshaped the role of mayor, but has also touched the life of so many individuals in the borough. Leaving an unforgettable legacy of a humble mayor with such strong community spirit, his impact extends far beyond just administrative duties. His revised strategy has brought a new dimension to the mayoral role. He replaced traditional charity gala dinners to rather a simple approach of a fundraising by hosting a range of community-based activities and events involving local schools, small businesses, local pubs, homegrown music talents. His approach of fostering strong connection with volunteer sector has truly exemplified what it means to lead with inclusivity and empathy. The Mayor Sponsor Walk in March, which surpassed fundraising targets by an increased 110%, and his cross-boundary approach of 100 kilometers in just 5 days exemplify his commitment to involve more and more people across the borough. The Grand Union Jamboree in May, a musical extravaganza that Mayor Allen spearheaded, bringing 14 days of live music event to every corner of Dacorum. Through his visionary leadership, Mayor Allen not only showcased the vibrant culture tapestry, but also gave platform to so many hidden local musical gems, from brass band to school choirs, to showcase their talent and raise significant funds for charities. Let us not only celebrate his remarkable achievement, but also pledge to carry forward his legacy of service, kindness, and community spirit. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your exemplary level of engagement in community and setting the scene for the future Mayor. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, William.
Right, thank you. Is this motion agreed? Right.
Before you proceed, Mrs. Mayor, might I intercede? It would have been nice to have passed on to you some words of wisdom, but I'm fundamentally a practical chap. And I've got a little gift for you to help you in those long winter nights when you're switching on lights all over the borough. Yarn bombers, using some Boxmoor Trust wool, have designed a mayoral jumper for you, which I would like to present to you.
Thank you, William. Thank you. Do you want me to come down? Right. The next item on the agenda is to appoint a deputy mayor until the appointment of a successor at the annual meeting of the council in 2025. May I please have nominations?
I'm afraid it's me again. Could I nominate Councillor Kathy McAreevy and say a few words?
Do I have a seconder? Oh, then you say your words and then I'll get a seconder after. Yes,
Thank you.
that's okay.
Councillor McAreevy is an exceptional public servant. She moved to Hemel Hempstead aged 7 and has been a nurse in the area for over 20 years, having trained in Hemel Hempstead Hospital and specialising in public health. She's done long service to Dacorum Domestic Abuse Services and more recently has been a fantastic chair of the Health in Dacorum Committee. She recently won a Hertfordshire-wide award for people who have been excelled in the delivery of public services. She will be an absolutely amazing mayor, I am sure, when it is her turn. Thank you.
Thank you, William. Do I have a seconder?
I'm pleased to second Councillor McAreevy, and I endorse everything that William said about her. I had the pleasure of serving with her on the Domestic Abuse Helpline Trust for many years, and she is an example to all of us with integrity and service. I so propose.
Thank you. Right, Councillor Catherine McAreevy has been proposed and seconded. Are there any other nominations, please? Right, there are no other nominations. It is agreed that Councillor Catherine McAreavey to be Deputy Mayor. Agreed. I declare that Councillor Catherine McAreavey has been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor. Do you want a black pen?
I, Councillor Catherine McAreavey, having been appointed to the office of Deputy Mayor for the Borough of Dacorum, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties it entails according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of the Borough of Dacorum.
Thank you. Right, next, agenda item 3. The minutes of the previous meeting of the full council will be considered at the next meeting taking place on Wednesday, the 17th of July 2024. Agenda item 4. Can I please ask the group leaders for any apologies? First, Councillor Montindall.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Could I first say Councillor Sadie Hobson, Councillor Sammy Barry-Mears, Councillor Sharon Wilkie, Councillor Michaela Capozzi, Councillor Lara Pringle can't be with us to this evening and apologise. And also, I understand that Councillor Johnny Gale has been caught in traffic and so is late. He is still hoping to arrive.
Thank you. Councillor Williams.
Apologies on behalf of Councillor Timmis.
Oh. Councillor Pesh. No apologies. Thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest? No. Right, agenda item 6. I will now receive official announcements and any business brought forward by the Leader of the Council and the Chief Executive.
If I may, Madam Mayor, I would like to say something about my standing down. I feel that it is time. I've had a great year in the administration. Everything is now reasonably running smoothly, I think, and I do believe it's time to pass on the baton to someone younger, and I propose that Councillor Adrian England be appointed as the Leader of the Council for the forthcoming period.
Thank you, Ron. Right, do I have a seconder?
I would like to second Councillor Adrian England, please.
Thank you. Is there anything, no, that's it. It is agreed that Councillor Adrian England is appointed as the Leader of the Council until the annual meeting of the Council in 2027, unless the term of office is brought to an earlier end in accordance with the Constitution. Thank you. Do you agree? Agree. I will now pass to the Chief Executive, Claire Hamilton, for any official announcements.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Police and Crime Commissioner election was held on Thursday, the 2nd of May, 2024. I can confirm that there was a 29.3% turnout across Hertfordshire, and the candidate elected was Jonathan Ash Edwards of the Conservative Party. I would also like to inform members that there will be a neighbourhood planning referendum in the Bovingdon area on Thursday, the 13th of June 2024. The notice of election has been published and poll cards have been issued. For more information, please see the Elections 2024 page of the Council's website. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Yes, Councillor Williams?
Sorry for the interruption, but there doesn't appear to be anywhere on the agenda for me just to...
But I'll give you permission then.
Thank you. Just to say that in light of Councillor Tyndall's announcement that he's standing down and the appointment of Councillor England, just take this opportunity to thank Ron personally for the excellent relationship that we've had on either side of this chamber for the past 10 years and the way in which he and I have been able to conduct business, which has been done almost seamlessly, where we've had issues between us, we've talked them through, and I think that's been benefit to the running of this council and to the people of Dacorum. And I do hope, and congratulating Councillor England on his appointment, that we will be able to continue to work together in the same vein to the benefit of Dacorum and its residents. Thank you, and I just really think that we have enjoyed a relationship in this council which is almost unique across Hertfordshire in terms of how we managed to work together, and I thank Ron for his work over those years in helping that to happen. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Before we go on, would you like to say something, Councillor Page?
Yes, thank you very much. I have already expressed our thanks to Councillor Tyndall earlier, but I would like to make it public that the help he's given us since we've been here for the last year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will now pass to Councillor Adrian England to introduce the appointment of Deputy Leader, members of the Cabinet and their respective portfolio and committee membership for 2024 to 2025. Adrian.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm obviously very happy tonight. Thank you to everyone who has mentioned it already or may mention it in the future. And you won't wipe this smile off tonight. I would have great pleasure in appointing Councillor Simi Diani as Deputy Leader of Dacorum Borough Council. And I appoint the following as members of the Cabinet. Corporate and Commercial Services, Councillor Michaela Capozzi. Housing and Property Services and Deputy Leader, Councillor Simi Diani. Neighbourhood Operations, Councillor Robin Bromham. Climate Change and Ecological Emergency, you just can't keep this man down, William Allen. and for Place, Councillor Sharon Wilkie. And finally, for People and Transformation, again, you can't keep this man down, Councillor Ron Tyndall. The full committee membership has been already circulated to members. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now pass to... Oh, no, I've already done that. No. I will now pass to Councillor Adrian England to introduce the appointment outside organisations. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mayor. It's great the way we do this, isn't it? I love it. The full appointment to outside organisations will come to the next meeting of full council because it is a very long list and it takes time to iron out. In the interim, I propose the following representatives be appointed. Councillor James Timmis isn't here tonight, but I would like to accord thanks to her for the work she's done representing us on in relation to the Luton Airport issue. And I would certainly welcome her to continue in that role. She's closer to it than most of us, so she hears more about it in all manner of ways. Secondly, I would like to, in standing Councillor Terry Douris down from his role in relation to the West Herts crematorium, now that that job has been well and truly finished for the time being, I'd like to say a huge thanks to Councillor Terry Douris for his work in that role, and that role will now pass to the portfolio holder for neighbourhood delivery. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you. Right. Yes, that's fine. Thank you, Terry.
In thanking Councillor England for his warm words, it's been a really interesting and profitable few years since we sat round a table, the 5 members of the West Herts Crematorium Committee, of whom as at just about this moment, only two remained, namely Councillor David Major from Three Rivers and myself. And we, the five of us, along with officers, discussed the potential for a new crematorium in Dacorum, on Dacorum land in Bunkers Park. And there followed a long and drawn out discussion, planning permission, building regulations, building it, COVID, and all manner of things that came about. But we now have a fantastic facility in the borough that will serve a wider population. And it's also very pleasing to note that in the recent Civic Awards, it achieved a highly commended, one of only 68 out of 300 plus worldwide for its eco-friendly design and its facilities. So thank you very much indeed to colleagues for allowing me to serve on this and taking on the mantle from Councillor Nick Tiley all those years ago, and I'm sure that people will benefit, and the borough will benefit from the facility that we have at West Herts at Hemel Hempstead Crematorium. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Please can I ask members of the Licensing and Health and Safety Enforcement Committee to remain in the council chamber to agree membership of the subcommittee. That concludes the business of the evening. I now declare the meeting closed and invite you all to join me on the balcony for some light drinks, and refreshments. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.